Welcome back, America. I am Hugh. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday morning. Maybe you haven't recovered yet. Maybe you haven't seen it yet. Kamala Harris sat down for an interview with 60 Minutes that she deeply regrets this morning. It may have ended her campaign. It was so inane. It was so vacuous. It was so substance-free. Even Bill Whitaker offering her basically crutches at every step, giving her a walking boot whenever she stumbled, could not help her. Let's start with the flip-flops. Bill Whitaker did hit her hard at one point, one left to the chin. This is it, cut number 8. That's 4 jump cuts. Who knows what she said in the middle of those jump cuts, but it was incoherent. She didn't answer any of the flip-flop questions. But then she got three times pressed on the border, cut number. Bill did not press her. Should you have done that 3.5 years ago before 10 million to 20 million people came into the country? He did ask about Ukraine, and she just sounds so bad. Cut number 12. There will be no success in Ukraine without Ukraine participating in what that success looks like. Honestly, if I was coaching a speech team and heard that, I'd say, kids, sit down. You need another year. Let's go talk about Iran. Cut number 5.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands. Okay, this attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
So if you have proof that Iran is building a nuclear weapon, would you take military action?
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals at this moment.
Okay, no, by all means, don't get me into a corner, Bill, where I've got to say, go Israel, go. One more before the break. Cut number 4 on China.
So say if China attacks Taiwan, would we use military force to support Taiwan?
Bill, I'm not going to get into hypotheticals, but listen, we need to make sure that we maintain a one China policy, but that includes supporting Taiwan's ability to defend itself, including what we need to do to ensure the freedom of the Taiwan Strait. We need to make sure we have open lines of communication with China, in particular, military.
No hypotheticals, no regrets, no answers, no substance, no nothing. Nothing is at home, not a thought in their head. The vice president should not be the president of the United States. It will be a disaster for this country. A little bit more after the break. So I want to go back and finish the 60 Minutes review. It was such a bad interview. We've already played for you the stuff about Netanyahu not listening and she undercutting Netanyahu. That was dropped on Sunday, so I was able to play it on Monday's program. But then Bill Whitaker asked her about her nomination. Cut number 6.
Was democracy best served by President Biden stepping down and basically handing you a nomination? You didn't have to go through a primary process. You didn't have to fight off other contenders. That's not really the way our system was intended to work.
President Biden made a decision that I think history is going to show is rare among leaders, which was to put country before self. And I am proud to have earned the support of the vast majority of delegates and to have been elected the Democratic nominee. I am proud to have received the endorsement of leaders around this country from every background and walk of life to fight in this election over the next month for our democracy.
But I think this truncated process is why people think or say they don't really know who you are.
Look, I've been in this race for 70
okay,
days.
this is where Bill Whitaker has decided I got to throw her a rope. At another point, we don't have this clip. I want to read you a question, air quotes. Bill Whitaker, quote, "You have accused Donald Trump of using racist tropes when it comes to Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, when it comes to birtherism, when it comes to Charlottesville. In fact, you've called him a racist and divisive. Yet Donald Trump has the support of millions and millions of Americans. How do you explain that?" That's not a question. I feel really bad for you, so let me try and change topics. Why does he feel real bad? This may be the worst answer of all from last night. She doesn't have a plan on how to bring down the price of groceries. She has suggested price controls which do not work. She has not proposed all-out doubling of domestic energy production, which is the only thing that can bring down groceries. No answer. I want to conclude this little monologue on the vacuity of Kamala Harris on 60 Minutes by replaying what I opened the program with, cut number 11. No, cut number, excuse me. That is so inane. It encapsulates everything inane about an inane interview in which she was given life preserver after life preserver, a life raft on Donald Trump, and nevertheless, the entire country, if they see it, if they hear it, if they watch this video, and I hope you will send this YouTube video around to everyone you know. She is not qualified to be president. She lacks the skill set. She doesn't have the ability to learn. She does not have evidence of any kind of support outside of those career Democratic polls that wanted to keep their job. She's Pelosi's candidate, maybe President Obama's candidate. I don't know who pulled the strings. We'll never know until the memoirs come out. But she failed last night so miserably, and 4 years of word salad is not healthy for our country. We will never regain our superpower competitiveness with China if she gets to the White House. That's my assessment of Kamala Harris on 60 Minutes.